Living in a crazy world at this moment in time, particularly if you home in on the financial system that operates at this moment in time and the high interest rates and the business models within this financial system. For example, the bigger the war, the more money that's spent on weaponry and tanks and guns and bombs and soldiers, and the more devastation that leads to, meaning the greater the rebuild, the greater the master plan that goes in for people then to rebuild a country. And what gets left behind is the devastation and the hurt and the pain and the suffering of that country's population. Same business model with disease. The bigger the disease, the bigger the solution, the bigger the profit. That's a very dangerous business model because that encourages devastation. Devastation of countries, devastation of people, devastation of resources, devastation of the planet, just complete and utter total devastation. Another thing you notice with the financial system is how complicated it is, right? How fucking complicated it is. You need to do degrees and PhDs and MBAs and need to study market derivatives and markets and how they function and operate and statistics and economies and the list goes on. And yet, for every problem people have out there, I've come up with a solution to it. And I've come up for a solution for a new financial ecosystem for the world. But it requires a mind shift, a mindset shift. So what do I mean by that? You got to look at money like energy. And the same properties that's in energy is in money in this new model that I'm going to talk about. So if you can think of money as flow, let's say you're talking about energy in the body. So it flows into the body and it flows around the body. It circulates. And then when it completes the circulation, that's a revolution. And this repeats itself, and there's multiple thousands and trillions worth of revolutions that goes on within the body. So you apply that same principle to a new financial ecosystem, and you can do it in the current one. I'll talk about crypto and other things like that later on, but just let's talk about the essence of money. And you can do this in the current system. You flow money into the current, all the money in the world, or as much as possible, into one single bank account. And then from there, the money will eventually flow out to every single person. And that's every single network project in the world. And when you add in technology, the speed of that money is going to increase 100x all around the place. Also, that means financial independence, freedom, autonomy for each and every single person. It's a flow system. It flows from everybody. The technology part of it means you can produce 10 times the goods and services. So all the free stuff comes in underneath that, all the essentials for people. It's a complete mindset shift from the one that's there where we're competing against each other for scarce resources. What the fuck are we at? Why not work together? Isn't that what the biggest, brightest brains of the planet do? They get the biggest, brightest people on the planet and work together and connect together and give out the best packages to employees to work together and to produce the best products and services, and the values of these things are going up 1 million, trillion, quadruple, all in the space of a year. Same process, folks, except you've been taught. You have been taught to fight against each other, to fight to the top. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. And you got to do what you have to do and tap into the animal instinct in you to achieve your aims and your goals to be better than anybody else. Anyway, not so good. But the other mindset is just a belief as well. And this connection and working together with this new financial system, it'll create a whole new world. I'll just give a snapshot of it there. Think about this. Money flowing into an account. Before that money flows out to everybody else in the world, that creates a pool of money in that single bank account, which gives the exponential return back to the investor. This is how you start an exponential project, i.e., projects that can be created so quick, so fast, exponentially quick, mind-blowingly quick. But that's the first and smallest, tiniest step that's needed, money into that bank account. And I've worked on this 8 years, and I'm now open to donations, whatever it is, investments, podcasts. I go into podcasts, global podcasts. I'm good to go. Let's go.